What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be testing the Porter Cable 20-volt cordless drill against the RYOBI 18-volt cordless drill. This one's going to be a fun one, so let's get started. So if you are in any shape, way, or form familiar with drills, you know that these two brands are pretty much direct competitors of each other. RYOBI is the Home Depot brand, and Porter Cable is the Lowe's brand, which is why I think this video is going to be really interesting to see which one is going to be the better drill. And just quickly, a big shout out to my dad for letting me use his RYOBI drill for the test today. And these drills are not exactly apples to apples. My dad's RYOBI drill was actually purchased about 3 years ago, but he only uses it for just quick little fixes around the house, to hang up pictures and stuff like that. So it definitely doesn't have near as much use as mine. Mine's only about 6 months old, but I have used it way more than my dad's RYOBI drill has probably ever been used. And that's what I think is going to make this test fair. Mine is a lot more wear, but it's also a lot newer. And my dad's is a lot older, but it's got a whole lot less wear. So I think it's going to be fairly close. Not exactly apples to apples, but I think it should be a good comparison anyway. And for our first test, I have this piece of 2x4, which I have planed down to a consistent 1.25 inch thickness. And we are going to be seeing which one of these two drills can drill a 1-inch hole in this piece of 2x4 the quickest. So I'm actually extremely surprised by those results. I was really thinking that the Porter Cable was going to get the win over the RYOBI, but as you saw, the RYOBI was actually a few seconds faster. Now before we go and continue on to our second test, I just wanted to say a couple of things about each one of these drills. So just holding both of these drills in my hand, I have to say I prefer the Porter Cable's feel in my hand over the RYOBI. The RYOBI's grip is just kind of long and kind of boring and plain. The Porter Cable's grip has a lot of cutouts and notches and a lot of different little grippy elements which really feel good in your hand, and it's a step up, you can tell, from the RYOBI. So taking a look at the batteries real quick here, you can see that the Porter Cable battery is significantly smaller than the RYOBI battery. It's also significantly lighter than the RYOBI battery, and this is a 20 volt, this is an 18 volt. You can tell that the Porter Cable battery is just a huge step up from the RYOBI battery. I like the design of the Porter Cable battery a lot better, how it slides onto the bottom of the drill, whereas the RYOBI one just kind of pops into the bottom. And the reason why RYOBI is still using the older system is because they don't want people to have to buy a new battery if they've got older RYOBI tools, which you got to give the company credit for doing that. That's a really smart move, and I don't see a whole lot of other companies doing things like that. And one last thing before we do our final test, both of these drills have a little bit clip down at the bottom. Both of them have flashlights. Only the RYOBI has a little magnet at the bottom, which I find really convenient. One thing that I really like about the Porter Cable is that when you pull the trigger, the light stays on for about 20 seconds. With the RYOBI, you pull the trigger and the light turns off as soon as you pull your finger off the trigger. This is nice because if you're working in a dark environment, you can use this as your light and you don't need to hold a separate light. So I've got a piece of 1.1 inch cherry clamped to my bench over there. We're going to put a fresh battery in each one of the drills. We're also going to put a 5/8 inch spade bit in each one of the drills, and we're going to see how many holes they can drill. So I just finished up with the Porter Cable holes, and the Porter Cable was able to get 39 holes at 5/8 inch. So now I'm interested to try the RYOBI on this side and see if it can get more than 39. And off we go. So I just finished drilling the holes with the RYOBI, and the RYOBI was only able to do 31 holes compared to the Porter Cable's 39 holes. So here's my final thoughts. We discovered that the RYOBI has a whole lot more initial power than the Porter Cable, as shown by our first test. We also discovered that the Porter cable does better in long drilling situations where you have to drill a lot of holes in a very short amount of time. I also noticed that the RYOBI actually heated up quite a bit more than the Porter cable did while I was drilling those 5/8 of an inch holes, which is something to be kind of concerned with, especially with the drill overheating. So in conclusion, here's my final thoughts. I think that if you're a homeowner hanging up pictures every once in a while, doing random jobs around the house, I think the RYOBI is the way to go. It's cheaper, it gives you a lot more power for those quick little jobs, and you don't need to worry about it overheating or drilling a whole lot of stuff. Now, I think that if you are a beginner woodworker, if you're an intermediate woodworker, the Porter cable is the way to go, especially if you're building something like a picnic table where you need to use your drill for an extended period of time. You're not going to have to keep charging batteries. And what I also thought was neat was that the Porter cable actually has 20% more battery than the RYOBI. So with the 2 batteries that come with the Porter cable and with the 2 batteries that come with the RYOBI, that's 40% more charge. That is a huge deal. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I really had a lot of fun testing these 2 drills. I've wanted to do it for a long time. If you haven't already and you want to, please consider subscribing to my channel because I'll be back next week with another great upload. If you have any comments or questions, put them down in the comment section below. I love reading through all the comments and responding to you guys, so don't hesitate to put them down in the comments section. Also, if you enjoy my channel, be sure to share it with your friends. I'd really appreciate it, and it really helps me out. And for all my viewers that want to buy something from me, if you don't know already, I sell cutting boards, I sell bowls, all sorts of other stuff. I'm going to be launching a website here soon. I will make a video about that website so you can get some more information about that when it's time. But until then, you can follow me on Instagram, Seth's Custom Creations, to stay up to date on all my current projects. Thank you so much for watching.